Welcome along, Shank Club NFL Thursday night style over here in the UK. I'm your boy, Jimmy G Smile, aka the Shank Club NFL, aka Alfred Ale, aka Nick Cork. Good to have you along. Crazy week in the NFL, week 2. We got plenty to get to. If this is your first time watching the show, please hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you will know when we go live. We are going to be doing Thursday shows off and on throughout the season, depending on how the mood takes us and basically if I can get home in time from work. So, yeah, keep a lookout for that. As I said, got plenty to get to. Bring in my co-host, new improved standing up co-host, Carl at KB Sports. How you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad at all. My Patriots come away with a victory. I finally put my faith in these boys. They finally come away with a win. Very, very happy. Yeah, decent week at work so far. Almost there at the weekend. And yeah, we got a lot to go through because I'll say this right here, right now. The NFL is on all the drugs this season.
It certainly has been very strange so far. Week 2, definitely a case in point. If you do want to follow any of our social media channels, the Shank Club NFL, we are at Shank Club NFL on Twitter, Twitch, everywhere, I think. Yeah, everywhere is Shank Club NFL, and our email is shankclubnfl@gmail.com. Carl, while we're here on our own, Nick and Paul will be joining us. Give a plug to, before I forget at the end, like I normally do, give everyone a plug to let them know where they can find you and all your various channels.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at KB Sports 31. You can also find me on YouTube with my channel, KB Sports. We do a lot of New England Patriots stuff, Arsenal FC, and a little bit of a recap show sometimes on the UFC as well. And you can also find me as the main host for the Patriots Touchback podcast, which is up there. We've just released our latest episode previewing the Baltimore Ravens game. So that is all on Spotify. So please make sure you follow them. And yeah, follow the Patriots Touchback podcast as well on Twitter while you are at it. So yeah.
Ooh, Spotify, posh.
It's not posh. It's not posh.
So yeah, good to have you along, Carl, as ever. And as I said, week 2, I'll tell you how crazy, and I said this to you before we came on air. Obviously, Sunday night, and we are going to get to the Niners when Paul and Nick join us later. Because I was multitasking. I had a game on the laptop, I had a game on the TV, and I had a game on the tablet. And it was Niners time, so they all went off. I put the Niners on Game Pass. Little tip for anyone that's watching: if you are in the UK and a game is blacked out, get a cheap or free VPN, and then the games don't get blacked out. Hashtag just saying. But anyway, so I'm watching the 49ers build up, and I get a text, and I think, well, it can't be Carl texting me and saying how wonderful the game was with the Steelers and the Pats, which is the first game we're going to talk about in a minute. Mm-hmm. And all I got was, have you taken a look at this motherfucking shit? And I'm like, what? And he just said, Miami. And I'm like, they were getting their asses handed to them on a plate. And I looked at it and I'm like, I can't. I mean, there were some crazy games and we're going to get into them one by one. But yeah, I mean, to me, and I still think he's got a weird motion and a funky throwing thing. But having Waddle and Tyreek Hill was obviously helping old funky lefty. But anyway, we'll get into that. Patriots at the Christ knows what it's called stadium these days. It's obviously not 57 varieties Heinz ketchup, Heinz mayonnaise field anymore. Came away with the win there, Carl, your boys. Not convincing, but a win is a win, right?
Nope, a win is a win. That's all you care about. Also, all you care about is the W. All I'll say is this. When I said last week that the offensive line, they had to do a much better job than what they had done against the Dolphins in week 1, they literally took that personally because that offensive line, that was night and day from what I saw of them. Trent Brown really did have a really good game. Cole Strange as well, our first round pick at left guard. He was absolutely outstanding. He absolutely shut down Cam Hayward at defensive tackle. Isaiah Wynn let one sack go. But apart from that, there wasn't a lot else. Mac Jones had plenty of time in the pocket to get the ball out. Jacoby Myers got peppered, I think, 9-10 times during the game. Nelson Aguilar, 6 catches, 110 yards, including the touchdown in which he absolutely Randy Mossed with a spoon.
That touchdown pass, that's actually, you reminded me, because obviously we talked off air, that Mac Jones pass to Aguilar was, he didn't, to me, from the outside, and again, I was trying to keep my eye on 3 games. I don't think he had a great game, Mac Jones, but he did what he needed to do. But that pass to Aguilar was mental. I mean, you couldn't have put it anywhere better. And I know QBs have moments, shall we say, where they do things and you think, right, okay, so you've missed a wide open guy, overthrown him in the flat, and then you throw it on a rope like that. And I know, Fish Whisperer, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I'm guessing it's afternoon, possibly, where you are. Yeah, I mean, I did. And as you say, the offensive line held up. I thought the defense was stout, kind of bend, don't break, but, serviceable.
It's
serviceable.
Second game running where we've held an offense really to 13, 14 points. I mean, you can't ask any more than that.
I mean, you can, and we all know the hooded genius. He every year will get by, shall we say, and make a team into something that's good. A bit like Tomlin. Although this year, I think Tomlin is going to struggle. And it could get away from him quite early. Now, we all know one player doesn't make a team, okay? But TJ Watt being out, There wasn't really pressure.
That's their pass rush. That is the Pittsburgh Steelers pass rusher in a nutshell. It's TJ.
Alex Highsmith was
yeah.
He was getting there, but he wasn't. A bit like Bosa.
He didn't get to the second. He didn't get to the second or the third level in order to get off the tackle to try and get to Mac Jones. No one could do anything. TJ Watt is the cornerstone of that pass rush. If you don't have TJ Watt in there, that pass rush is actually very vanilla, very mediocre. It's not the best. TJ Watt makes that pass rush look good than what it actually is.
Yeah, agreed. And you know, I think he's out 4 weeks on IR, 5, 6. Well, I don't know what the IR rules are. Maybe 5 weeks. But you know, this season, and I wasn't impressed with Trubisky, but then I've never been a big fan of his. I think he's going to get exposed. Is probably the wrong word to use, but he's going to be shown for the QB he is when he doesn't have a defense or a decent offensive line that's going to protect for him, or even a running game as such. And that was my biggest takeaway, was like you were saying about, you know, the pass rush, etc. If they can't generate pressure, I honestly think they're really going to struggle this year. But yeah, your boys look good. As I said, Mac Jones did a few "are you kidding me" moments, but then that Aguilar pass was just incredible. Yeah, but you're going to get that with a second-year QB, right? It's not as if he's a 4 or 5 year vet. And there's a lot of scrutiny on the year before's QBs, and we're obviously going to get into them more as we go. Fish Whisperer, 2 non-playoff teams. Well, I don't know. I don't think you can ever write off either team, because we know that Tomlin somehow, even if they go out in the wild card, and the same with Belichick, they'll cook something up. In the mind you, saying that, the AFC is a lot stronger this year. When it's ridiculously strong, dire, they've stood more of a better chance. So it could be, interesting. But yeah, overall, I mean, what grade would you give Mac Jones 2 games in?
I'll probably say B-. And the reason why I say being B- is, yes, he made some decent throws. If he was peppering Jacoby Myers all game long. He obviously the big one to Nelson Aguilar as well. The problem is with Mac Jones, though, and I had to do a little bit of study tape on this for the Patriots Touchback show yesterday. What I noticed with Mac Jones was, in his rookie season, when he's actually standing inside of the pocket, he'll actually go through his reads and then he'll get the throw off. When the last 2 games I've seen him do it, he's going through his reads extremely quickly and then is making very erratic decisions. Whether or not they're the correct ones or not, I do not know. But he's not going through his reads properly. You can understand that in game 1 against Miami, because obviously the pass rush was relentless and the O-line was just an absolute sieve. But in the Steelers game, he had all the time in the world. And he was still making there was a couple of throws that could have easily been interceptions. And I know the touchdown to Aguilar, that was also one of them. Aguilar actually had to wrestle that off Witherspoon in order to make sure he gets that. So that could have easily been, Mac Jones is a little bit, his decision maker was very erratic. He's got to do better than that against the Baltimore Ravens this week. He has to. But as far as our defense is concerned, I can't expect anything more. Duggar was outstanding. The pass rush really gave Trubisky massive problems. And also as well, stuffing the running game of Najee Harris. Matt Wilson really, as our new linebacker, is really making the run defense so strong and stout. So, yeah, I'm happy with the result. But as Bill Belichick would say, we've got a lot to do.
The thing is, and obviously I see a lot of it on 49ers Twitter, because a few people, not a lot, a few people have said we should have drafted Mac Jones over Trey Lance, because Mac Jones is NFL ready now, blah, 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 blah. And his ceiling's a lot lower.
You're gonna get
Now,
this argument until the inevitable happens.
I haven't seen I can only go by what I've seen in the NFL. And last year, I thought Mac Jones was very good. Trey Lance, you didn't really see him. The games he played in, the must-win game, he won. So yeah, who knows? I mean, I expected Justin Fields to be a lot better in his rookie season.
Yeah, there's a slight difference.
Very good, but
there's a slight difference to that though. With Trey Lance, he's in a team which is there to win the Super Bowl now. Justin Fields is in a team which is just a glorified mess. And
well, we're gonna talk about those. Don't try and get me to speak about the Niners yet.
I'm not going to say a word.
Far too early.
Anyway,
is that the actual ball? Sorry, is that the Trey Lance against the couch ball?
Oh, this. Yeah, you're 100% right. Like basically, last year I was at my mate's draft party. I brought the ball with me. We ended up losing it in his garden somewhere, and we couldn't find it. 1 year on, I go back to the same draft party. He's trimmed all the bushes and the trees down, and he found the flipping ball. So I now actually have the ball back.
There's obviously two things in play there. One, he's a shit gardener, and two, obviously there was alcohol taken at the time, right?
Is that a rhetorical question? Is that a rhetorical question?
Anyway, so yeah, okay. Oh, I thought, have you popped it in your snack helmet?
Yes, I have. It's the perfect place to stick it.
Well, indeed.
I could have rammed up Scott's ass, but he ate on stream, so I do.
No, he's just in the comments. He's in between serving customers at the McDonald's drive-through in his Chiefs gear, obviously.
Yeah.
Right now, let's get into some crazy voodoo. Can Carl throw a spiral? Can you throw a spiral?
Not in this room, I can't.
Well, to be fair, when the Niners moved up to 3, you did more of a body slam than a spiral. So I don't.
That was more of a spike. Yeah.
Right, Dolphins, Ravens. Now, as I said, that was one of the games I was watching, keeping an eye on. And I switched it off, and the Ravens were absolutely murdering the Dolphins. And then the next thing I see when my friend texted me, I was like, "What? Really?" I mean, talk to me about the Dolphins, Cole. Was that more of a defensive stand that the defense made adjustments because they were getting whacked at the half, right? And they were getting absolutely creamed. Did Mike McDaniel et al., did they make changes that stymied the Ravens, or did the Ravens just fall off a cliff and do a Carl Shanahan in the Super Bowl when he was the OC at the Atlanta fall off a cliff moment?
That to me was... Listen, I'll give Miami their flowers. I thought Tua coming back from that, 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, that was simply... I haven't seen Tua Tagovailoa play like that since he was in Alabama. That was the Tua I used to see, and that I used to see. But I'm just going to show you this, okay? This was at the start of the third quarter. Baltimore were 28-7 up on Miami. I don't know if you could see through that screen there, but look at the percentage of the win percentage. 97.7%. I can't even get from it. Hang on. That's it. Right. There you go. See that?
Yeah, it's mad.
That was... And I'll be honest with you right now, okay? If I was a Ravens fan, I would be fucking pissed off. I'd be embarrassed. I'll ask you a question. When I say the team, Baltimore Ravens, what do you associate that team with? What's the one word that comes into your mind?
What? Now
no, not now, as in back then,
defense.
over the last few decades. Thank you. The likes of Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs. Those boys would have actually been on the field and they would have actually died for the team. The fact the Ravens just let that lead absolutely crumple, that's just a kick in the nuts to those three legends of that organization. And that is the most disgusting part of it. Lamar Jackson did all he could in that game. And all the defense had to do is make one stop. They couldn't do it.
That's the most embarrassing part of it. There must have been a point where the floodgates just, because as I say, halftime, I'm like, I can't remember what the half was. And I'm like, nah, I'm done with this game. Let me find another game. Because I can't. Munsey Talks, good evening. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. We'll have to get you on the show very, very soon. If you want to hit me up, DM me on Twitter, send me your email. You can come in now if you want. I know, obviously, time may be of an issue, but if you want to come on and talk football, you're always welcome. Hit me up with your email on DM on Twitter, and we'll always get you on. I don't know. I don't know what I can't. It was one of them that, like soccer, and I have to call it soccer because we have American followers. But do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember the Inter Milan Liverpool Champions League final 3-0?
2005. Yep.
I switched that off and then was like, "What the fuck has gone on here?"
I didn't switch it off.
Because you just give up, right? Well, I did. I was like, this is bullshit. This is they're done. What's the point? And I was patting myself on the back because Tua was being Tua-like with his. I can't stand his throwing action. And yeah, it was mad. I honestly, and then I watched the Sunday. Well, no, I lie. I watched the game in 40 because I thought I've got to watch this back because this is mad. And they just carved him a new arsehole in the second half. And I couldn't believe a team could really be that bad in the second half. And as you say, Lamar did everything in that first half. I've closed the drive-through line of cars 3 miles long. I doubt it, Scott. I can't. Yeah. Oh man, what a game! And as I said to you before we came on the air, I still can't buy. Even though they're 2-0, I still can't buy Miami. But those two receivers they've got now, they're making a big difference. Now, would you say before this Sunday's games would you have called the Ravens defense top 3, top 5 legit based on?
Not really, because obviously their week 1 matchup was against the Jets. So, you have to take that game with a pinch of salt, frankly. So, here's what I don't get, though, okay? So I forgot to go back to my pages, okay? The whole point of when you play Tyreek Hill, and Scott will know this very, very well, New England were very good at neutralizing Tyreek Hill. 2 cover high shell safety, Jonathan Jones playing in the slot, Devin McCourty over the top. We neutralized Tyreek Hill for about 94 yards, I think. We neutralized him for, which was decent. Now, it's not a shame if a certain mediocre or really bad team lets Tyreek Hill go for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's Tyreek Hill. It's all you can do about it. But you gave Jalen Waddle 170 yards. The Baltimore Ravens defense gave up 360 yards on 2 receivers. How shit do you need to be in order for that to happen? They just go one-on-one with Marcus Peters. Oh, great. Yeah, that's good. That's not a match. That's not a match.
It was. I mean, honestly, it was. I switched it off. I thought, nah, there's only going to be one outcome here, and that's going to be the Ravens are going to pile up more points. Quick question before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Harbaugh, hot seat if they progressively get worse?
Nah.
No?
They won't.
Even if with that roster and that defense lets them down and they go 8-8. and don't make the playoffs. Bearing in mind how good the AFC is now.
I'll say this. They haven't given Lamar Jackson his new contract yet. I think if the Ravens miss the playoffs, he will go elsewhere. And that will be the worst case scenario for Baltimore because they're in that 8-8 echelon. So you're not going to get a top pick as well. So the quarterbacks this year, so you look to the likes of Bryce Young from Alabama, CJ Stroud from Ohio State, Anthony Richardson from Florida. There's another couple of QBs that I've completely missed. The Van Dyke kid out of Miami.
What, Dick Van Dyke from Mary
Not
Poppins in the 60s?
No, the
That'd
Dick
be
Van,
awesome.
the Dick Van Dyke is who I'm talking to. But
Talking of Dick Van Dyke, here he is. Hello, Governor.
Hello, mate. Nice hat. Nice hat.
There you go. Crucial catch. It was cheap. It was cheap. It was, yeah. Friends. Hat friends. It was cheap. It was very, very cheap on Fanatics when they had a sale, and that's the only reason I bought it because it was like 10 quid.
Nice to see you, Carl. I watched you on the locker room rant the other night.
Oh, mate, I had a well of a time on that show. John Vernos, when he's on here, he's actually very calm, quite relaxed, quite laid back. He does go off a little bit, but not too much. I got to see the full John Vernos on the locker room rant, and guess what? I prefer that version.
Well,
trouble is, he has to be a bit the average Bo selector. Good evening, good afternoon. He has to be a bit because sometimes his kids are around. But yeah, he does. He does like a rant. Paul, how are you? It's been a while. Now, I did hear a rumor you had an injury and you've fully recovered, and you're now playing flag football. How's that going?
Yep. So back on my feet. I taxed my rehab. This physio signed me off 2 months ahead of schedule. So I've had one training session. You'll be pleased to know, gents, didn't get injured. Survived the full session. So, yeah, something that I'm trying my hand. Obviously, Nick Ludlam, who was a good friend of ours, he's been keen for me to return. So back at work.
Nick doesn't get injured. He just gets fucking sunburned because he's a white boy like me.
Yeah.
He doesn't tan, bless him.
Well, he was on the... he stepped in for Let's Talk Sports this afternoon because Dan, who runs Let's Talk Sports, has got a few issues himself. So he's had to take some time away, Nick. So Nick Ludlam stepped in today, which was my first time as host, which used to probably take for granted. Not going to lie.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. First, trying to press the buttons, trying to upload it to YouTube. I was like, oh my God, this is why I'm always the guest and never the host.
There you go. Got a comment from Scott. Paul only comes on when I'm unavailable. But then you see, Paul doesn't need to go to a McDonald's drive-through, Scott. That's the difference.
So, no, I did tune in Saturday just gone. I was hoping to jump on, but you've probably seen we've been busy at the 49th FL UK. We were supposed to have an official meet-up in Leeds, obviously with the Queen sadly passing. That was all kind of postponed, but we still went ahead with our meet-up. And then last week, I was up at Falkirk at the Candlestick Inn. So one of the lads, Nick, has built a bar in his garden, and it is. I did see that,
and I sort of was like, "Is that an actual pub, or is it someone's back room or something?" I did see it.
Back garden, yeah.
Your wife must love you.
Tracy
must love you, Paul. I'm telling you.
Well,
2 weeks in a row.
The trip to the Candlestick Inn was booked in because I didn't go last year. And the gents were FaceTiming me. They were sending me videos, and it looked absolutely awesome. So I was like, I have to go to a pub called the Candlestick Inn. So, yeah, this week will be the first time I've watched Red Zone this season because I'll actually be at home for Sunday night football. I won't be in a boozer with a pint in my hand. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be in my own Candlestick Inn for Sunday night football. I've booked Monday off. So, it's got to be done. Now, obviously, yeah, exactly. Now, you've joined late, and we've basically just been talking. We obviously talked about the Pats. We don't talk about them anymore. Fuck the Pats. Dolphins, Ravens. Have you watched any of that game back?
Yeah, I obviously caught bits of the highlights from Red Zone on Sunday.
It was insane.
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, there was question marks about McDaniel going and taking over. And if there's any question marks, you just have to watch that game. I must admit, Tua has been a lot better than I thought. Tyreek Hill.
No, he's cutting. No. You know my thoughts on Tua, Paul. He's going to fuck it up somewhere along the line. And we were saying, obviously, week 2, early in the season, they played the Jets and the Ravens that looked like they'd been on the crack pipe at half time. And their defense isn't that good. And that was obviously for everyone to see on Sunday. So let's call our Jets on the Dolphins until they actually play someone that might actually give them a game for 60 minutes. But anyway, yeah, that was a crazy game. And you'll be happy to know we're talking about the 49ers just a bit later. But I've got a few things to say about that. Another mad game. Joe Flacco turning back the years. Fuck knows what years he turned back. Ivan, bless his heart, I did want to get him on tonight, and I wouldn't have roasted him because I know how invested he is in his team, and I know, obviously, a lot of people are. Jets, 31-30 at the death. Now we've all suffered losses like that, right? At a time, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal and all that, and I still can't buy the Jets. As much as I love Salah, I can't take the Jets seriously, and I think I think he's going to be on the hot seat. But again, it was just one of those weeks. Oh dear, I've got to put this up. Honestly, he's such a card. Ivan is coming on Saturday, Scott, so you'll be able to have your usual conversation with him, and he'll be very calm and collected. So we'll save that bit for Saturday. It was a weird game. I watched it and I'm thinking, Flacco actually slinging it? Nah, I can't believe it. And here we go. Here's another win percentage. What's that? I can't. Yeah, because I can see even with my glasses.
I can see that.
With just over 2 minutes to go, that was 99.9%.
Mad. The average bow selector says, great game, but Tua is overrated. I agree. Baltimore just got
We'll see what he does against Bolton. We'll see what he does against the Bills.
See, Carl interrupted you there, and Carl is the stat man. So I've got the stat, Carl, that I thought the locker room rant boys would have been all over. So in the fourth quarter, with 1 minute and 31 seconds to go, Cleveland were 30 points to 17.
Yeah.
How have they lost the game in that scenario? So
I mean, these games, and we've had quite a few in this window already. I'll bring Nick in. Hang on one sec. Talk to Sunburns. There he is. Hello, Nick.
How are we doing? You all right, guys?
Yeah, we're good. We're just saying, Paul gets injured playing flag football. You just get sunburned.
All the time. Like I say, I end up with the Michael Jackson tan lines. So I look like I'm wearing a one white glove or something.
But do you walk around going, Shamon, motherfucker?
What was the one that used to do on Bo Selector? Was that
Bo? Yeah, Bo Selector. I think actually Carl just did a moon. Well, it was more like I don't know what walk, desert walk. It weren't a moon.
I'm just glad his green screen hasn't fallen down. We were watching on Saturday with the kids, and 1 minute Carl had a nice background. The next thing, your green screen, there was something wrong with. Was it the light coming in, Carl? Or
yeah, I have no blinds on the window currently, so and that's going to be my job on Saturday morning to get blinds up there. But
I thought your job
it's not. It only affected it because of the sun coming through. If it was just like a rainy or cloudy day, it would be fine. But
I thought your job for Saturday morning was to get a smoke machine, the Undertaker outfit, and the Undertaker theme music. I definitely caught that bit of the show.
If we lost to the Steelers, which we didn't, so no.
I think you should do it anyway, Carl. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we should, I might, like in true Holly Willoughby and Phil What's-His-Faces, I might start an online position to get Carl to be the Undertaker with a smoke machine.
I thought you were going to try skipping the queue or something.
Well,
I would have done, but I couldn't.
That should be an immediate ejection, actually. The next.
Nick,
they did it, not me.
Obviously, you've joined us when we're talking about obviously Jets Ravens and sorry, not Jets Ravens, Jets Browns and Ivan, and we're getting to that Saturday because I'm sure everyone would like to congratulate the Browns on their capitulation. Indeed, because it needs to be said. But Ivan will be Ivan. Dolphins, Ravens. More impressed with Miami, or what the fuck were you doing, Ravens?
It's a bit of both, isn't it? Let's be honest. The Ravens never should have lost that game after they got themselves in such a great position. But fair play to the Dolphins to stick in there despite being hampered by having Tua at quarterback.
Can't stand this. Honestly, he's throwing even when he was throwing those Waddle to and Tyreek Hill passes, I'm like, I can't. Just cut his body out the way and just show the ball going through the air because I can't stand it. Does my
I'm sorry. That's one of those hills I'm just going to die on. I think the guy's a bust. I don't think he's ever going to be any good in this league. I think he's going to be average at absolute best. He's going to be one of those career backups.
It depends on how far the defense can carry him, and also if his offensive line holds up, because those two are great receivers. But if the line's getting caved in, doesn't make no difference who you are, does it? Because you can't juggle
really,
them. So it will be interesting. It will be interesting. Now, did I or did I not champion the Lions to be a sneaky good team this year because of Hard Knocks? Carl,
you did.
Was that the case?
Last week? Yeah, last week you said that.
There you go. And did I say there were a few players that were on Hard Knocks that are going to appear in games and be very, very good? Did I say that? And did I say Goff?
You did say.
You did say. Yes, I did.
You did say which players. You did say which players.
Hutchinson, the defensive end, 3 sacks, 2 sacks, whatever it was. The number 2 running back, who is
Swift. Oh no,
Swift.
Jamal.
No.
Jamal Williams.
Jamal
Williams showed up. Armand St. Ra showed up. And admittedly, it was only against Washington, right?
Armand St. Ra?
Only. Not Armand.
I was going to say that.
What's his name?
Armand St. Brown.
That's the one. You know who I meant.
My favourite name in the NFL. It's awesome.
Don't pick holes. Because I'm thinking of a wrestler called something like that. But anyway. And it was the Commanders. And I did tweet out when they were getting their asses handed to them, Carson Wentz. And I don't know what the emoji is for shaking head, but he came on when the game was out of reach. He was awful in that first half. And again, I said, and I'm just blowing my own trumpet. I said he was shit after Philadelphia. I said he was going to be a bust in Indianapolis, and they got rid of him and had to eat all that salary.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I still can't see it. I still can't.
No.
It's a shame because when he got injured in Philly, he was on thingy for MVP, winning it all, doing everything, and he's just kind of, I don't know, lost it. I don't know. Yeah, Lions. I liked them. I really did like them. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but sneaky good team. Sneaky.
Imagine if they had a good quarterback.
Right now, if you look at the...
Goff was actually, and that was one of the 3 games, because I'm a bloke, I can multitask. I can't do that and do that at the same time, but I was watching 3 games, and the
I love
Lions
how
game was one of them.
I love how the fact you said there was a few players on Hard Knocks that were actually going to be very sneakily good, and how good the Lions are going to be. Did I not actually mention last week about Jared Goff's last 6 games at the back end of the season?
I know.
The way he had like 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, I think it was. He had in the final 6 games.
He's still a liability. If McVay couldn't get a tune out of him, and this is again why I'm being cautious. McVay, the so-called second best, whatever, offensive mind and all that bullshit. Although apparently Kyle Shanahan needs to get fired, he's dog shit. But we're getting to that. McVay couldn't get a tune out of him. He was drafted too high. Blah 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 blah. Can Dan Campbell keep him under control so he doesn't become a liability? Because I think they've got the defense, I think they've got the run game, and but I know they're not going to keep up with the Bills. They're not going to keep up with Mahomes. They're not.
They don't need to.
So they just need to fight this year. Me personally, with the Lions, they need to find their level, and if it's just outside the playoffs or one and done in the playoffs this year, that would be like winning the Super Bowl to them, right? Because how many years have the Lions been fucking awful? Just like
Terrible.
The Jaguars.
Too many.
Awful. So, if they get an even record, they get to 500. To me, if I was a Detroit fan, that would be like winning the Super Bowl to me after all those years. Like Cleveland were last year, right? And then they sucked it up in the playoffs. We know what happened. But to me, that would be massive progress. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think just getting even close to a winning season would be like winning the Super Bowl for Detroit. They've been perpetually shite for years. But it's week 2. The wheels can still very easily come off at this point. Are they peaking too soon?
I'll ask you, sorry, Nick, 1 sec, break in. Carl, find me the last time that Detroit had a 500 record in a season.
Okay.
Mute
Carry on
yourself.
talking.
Go ahead, Nick. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think it'll probably be close to. Was it they had they went to the playoffs, didn't they, with Megatron's last year? Was that it? And they lost their playoff game.
I don't think. Bear me a minute. Hang on a second. Oh God, how far back I got.
See, while he's looking for the stats, Nick, I thought Hard Knocks was awesome. I was really nervous about Hard Knocks because I haven't really enjoyed the last couple, and I really bought in this year. Got a good friend.
Sorry, Paul. Just to butt in quickly. The last time the Detroit finished with an over 500 record was actually earlier than you think. 2017.
There you go.
They went 9-7, and their coach was Jim Caldwell at the time, who was who should never have been fired.
No.
That's right, yeah. I remember him getting fired. I was just going to say, Carl, I've got a good friend in Newcastle, Andy, who's an ex-colleague. He's a Lions fan. He's been hyped up after Hard Knocks and supposed to catch a game with him on Sunday in Newcastle, but obviously I was at Falkirk. He was messaging me all the way through because he's got a mutual friend who's a Commanders fan. So he's bought under the hype train, obviously. Second game of the season, Nick. We can get on board with that, can't we? So, but yeah, Dan Campbell has been awesome on Hard Knocks for me.
I think for Detroit for this year is if they can get... I'd turn around and said their floor is probably around about 5 games. But I think their ceiling is probably close towards 9. If they really are buying into what Dan Campbell is doing, which it looks like that is what they are, they could get 8, they could get 9 wins. I think they'll miss the playoffs. I think even though the NFC is weak, there is still going to be some teams going to be scrapping around for that. But I could also throw that in the same ballpark as, say, I don't know, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because right now, they're sitting top of the most shittest division in the NFL right now. And that's making the NFC East look good. But
we know they'll be one and done.
I was going to say he's selling himself short there, Nick, on the locker room rant. He was the only one that said the Jags were going to beat the Colts. They all laughed at him. He backed it up with his stats. And then I watched the show this week, Carl. I always watch it on a Wednesday because I'm not stayed up when I'm at work.
I don't
fair
blame you.
play, all of them were like, man, that lad across the pond, he was the only one that said the Jags were going to win. So they all give you
No. Tony chose the Jags.
Right.
Nico chose the Jags. It was our own boy John that chose
John
the
Gage.
Colts. He
But I
didn't
meant-
listen.
When Tony was explaining it, he was explaining it in a way where he was like,
Yeah.
you came in with the stats and you dropped
Yeah.
the bomb. So you've got that receipt. You've got to cash that receipt, man.
And we'll catch that
I
receipt
say, I
next
think-
time we go on. Probably around
Sadly,
Christmas
I
time.
know.
Probably around Christmas time.
I know I went with Colts, and then not long after, I think Michael Pittman's designation changed to out, and like, okay, this isn't looking good all of a sudden.
The
Yeah, I
Colts
think
are looking
everyone-
pretty horrendous right now. Colts are going to, I mean, look, I said the Jags will win, but I thought they'd win a close game against the Colts because I think the Colts are still a better team than the Jags. Shut them out? Really?
Yeah.
What the hell? Your offensive line is meant to be one of the top 5 in the NFL. Your defense is meant to be ranked the top 10 in the NFL. Okay, your receivers are a little bit question mark, apart from Brett Pittman Jr. But you got Jonathan Taylor to run the rock.
Mhm.
And you're 0-2 off the... Well, not 0-2, sorry. You're 0-1-1. Whoever ties in the NFL deserves a loss anyway. But it's just... I don't know. What I've come to realize, excluding Carson Wentz, if you're a quarterback and you go to the Indianapolis Colts, you go there to retire.
Yeah,
Andrew
Matt
Luck,
Ryan.
Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz got shipped out because apparently he was the scapegoat in there. He threw 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions to the Colts, and yet he was the one who got all the blame for it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Andrew Luck
Fine.
should have gotten much further one year if it wasn't for a specific incident, shall we say.
Incident? You mean the GM that didn't give a shit about him in Ryan Gregson?
As in Deflategate.
Even in an alternative inflated universe, the Colts still would have got their asses handed to them by the Patriots. That's all I gotta say.
No. Snap, you'd have seen another Stanford QB in the Super Bowl.
Sorry, I missed the. When was the last time they were 1-1 or 500?
Who was that? Detroit, 2017.
So quite a while ago. And yes, Paul, I agree. I thought Hard Knocks was really good this year. I was the only one. Me and you, I think, were the only ones that watched it. No one else bothered. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was different this year because it wasn't. They actually focused on people that were going to make the roster. They probably had a load of stuff that went on the cutting room floor where people didn't make it. But I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Right. Now, someone who's very close to my heart and has been for a long time, Matty Ice. Oh my God.
It's time to retire.
Yeah.
Jaguars 24. Trevor Lawrence looked half decent.
Half decent. 25
0.
of 30, 2 touchdowns,
Yeah,
over
but
105 passer rating.
You can
can't.
say that. Okay, so it was against Indianapolis, or it was against. You can say that because next week he might go out and lay an egg, and he's laid eggs most of his NFL career so far. So let's, as our American friends say, pump those brakes, baby. I felt sorry for Matty Ice. He was awful. And as Nick said, yeah, time to think about hanging up those cleats.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you see, him and bearing in mind, the Jaguars defense is sneaky good this year, but he looked ordinary. He looked old. He looked Peyton Manning in his last season.
No, I wouldn't even say he looked that good.
That was actually one of the games I had on, and then I had to switch it off because I just couldn't see my boy going down in an unblaze of glory. Yeah, it was sad to see. It was. and I've been a Matty Ice fan since he was drafted out of Boston College, and yeah, it's rough.
It's
It's kind of like a boxer that should have retired before he got the shit kicked out of him, and he couldn't even throw a punch, and he's punch drunk at the end. That's what it looked like to me.
He's trying to go for one last big. He's trying to go for one last big payday, but he knows he's going to get his ass handed to him. That's basically what Matt Ryan's situation in right now.
But you see, I think he probably thought, you know what? If I've got a half decent team backing, etc., a bit like when what was his name? Philip Rivers went there. Ultimately, he was let down. Totally different QB, and I don't think Matt went there for the money. I just think he looked at it and thought, this is my best option. They have a chance to win. They have a chance to be good. And basically, as John McClane said, he's been butt fucked on national TV. Okay.
He's not up to it anymore. I don't think he's there. He's lost too much.
Slow, his arms gone. It's sad. And whereas you look at Tom Brady 5 years ago and you say, he's washed, forget it. Why is he still even in the league? And then fuck me, he comes back and does what he does. But that ain't,
he's not Tom Brady.
I think Matt Ryan is on the slow horse out of town, and he's just waiting. And it's a shame. It is a shame. And talk to Tom Brady. Apparently, I've heard some weird stories. He lost his shit, smashed up another tablet on the side.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Rest in peace to the tablet. Yeah.
There was a punch up involving Mike Evans and someone. They both
Lattimore. It's like this is like the fifth time this has happened now between Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans.
Bruce Arians, for some reason, was on the fucking sidelines getting involved, calling out officials and.
What was Bruce Arians even doing anywhere? I thought he was fucking retired.
He's front office, isn't he now?
He's
front office. He's front office. Well, fuck off the office there. Don't go there.
He obviously gets a pass with his Kangol to be down on the fucking field causing shit.
Honestly, it was a horrific game to watch. The only thing that made it worth watching were the bust-ups.
Was the fights. Here's the bit everyone forgets, okay? Yeah, the fights caused a problem. You can tell what the Buccaneers are as a team, what the Saints are as a team regarding of their quarterbacks. Yes, Tom Brady lost his shit on the sidelines. Yes, he destroyed a tablet. RIP to the tablet. But after that situation happened, and you're stalling drive after stalling drive, a quarterback has to stay calm and composed, especially during the latter stage of the game.
Not Tom Brady, obviously.
Well, obviously Brady, because he actually did get the bloody touchdown to Brashard Perriman, whereas Jameis Winston didn't have the composure. He got frustrated. He threw it deep, ended up getting picked off, and then it all started to trickle down from there for Jameis Winston. He's back to where.
Sorry, Carl. The other thing apparently about Jameis Winston, which apparently is going to come out at the end of the season, he's got 4 broken bones in his back. He can hardly fucking move. They made a big mistake, not closing him down. And I like Jameis. Yeah, he's a bit of a turnover machine, but when he's Jameis, proper Jameis, and he does 30 for 30, he throws some darts and he's amazing. And you could see he wasn't where he should be. But then Taysom Hill's a shit QB. So they're kind of stuck. Just get some roids in him and get him out on the field, allegedly, and just painkillers. Sorry, not roids, because they don't do that. But get some painkillers in him. Yada, yada, yada. But Jameis is going to Jameis. But he wasn't Jameising. He wasn't cooking with Jameis. He was cooking with Cocodamol, because that's the only strong painkiller I can think of.
Just a quick one. Just to go back to Taysom Hill, he's technically not really a quarterback. He's a tight end / running back.
I prefer Faith Hill, who used to be in the Fugees, to Taysom Hill QB.
See, I'm confused, chaps. I thought that game was the best game of the year because Sky forced it on us instead of showing the
Oh,
Niners game.
First
Then
quarter.
the forced red zone on us.
Yeah.
And I know, Nick, you replied to a couple of comments about VPNs and the rest of it. You're right.
Game
what was
Pass
happening
and
was,
VPN.
but the issue was we were up, the candlestick in, he had Sky set up, it wouldn't have Game Pass. And I had to highlight it because there was a lot of 49er fans caught out, and I just couldn't understand why they were forcing the end of that game on us. It was terrible.
Because
And
it's
then they did
Tom
this
Brady,
weird...
who apparently looks like the dead emoji now on Twitter. What is all that about?
Oh.
But what was worse was they then forced Red Zone on us, which is available on 3 other channels, and it was like they're just trolling the 49er fans at this point. So
anybody that's forced to watch Red Zone, I'm sorry, I can't stand that geezer, and I can't stand the flip flopping. And oh, hang on a minute, there's a blade of grass falling. We got to go to Tampa Bay. Oh, hang on a minute, someone's doing their shoelace up. Let's go to the Jets game. Oh, hang on, someone's farted on the sideline at the Steelers, so we better go there. I mean, fuck off.
Oh no, I love Scott Hansen. I think Scott Hansen's awesome. I just don't like Red Zone.
He reminds
I don't like
me,
highlight shows. I never liked Match of the Day when I was growing up.
Yeah, that's because Swansea were never on it, mate.
Well, no, I just don't like highlight shows. Why would I want to watch a highlight show when I can watch a whole game and actually learn more about it?
Swansea were never on it because neither were.
Hey, mate, we spent more years on there than Brighton ever have.
Yeah, well, that ain't difficult because Brighton have been shit for years. But that's another story. Panthers Giants. Anything to say?
Oh God! Right, two things. The Giants are the worst 2-0 team in the NFL.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
They are the worst 2-0 team in the NFL, and Baker Mayfield is proving everybody right that he is just not that guy. He's just not it.
So you're not aboard the G train with Brian Daboll and what he's brought over from the Bills, and this is going to be the Giants year, Carl.
I'm not bothered by the Giants. I'm not bothered by the Giants. They've got to come good at some point.
Tell me you don't like Baker Mayfield with actually telling me you don't like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Carl. I haven't quite got that emotion from you.
He loves him.
Yeah. Careful in case he throws that ball at something.
I know, yeah. He's probably better than Baker with the ball in his hands.
He hasn't got a sofa close by to throw it because the 49ers went up to 3, but that's another story.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
There you go, Carl. I'll join in. There you go, Carl.
All I can say is, holy shit! Like Carl said, how are the Giants 2-0? It's crazy
because they've got a ton of old Niners players on the team.
Possibly, but still dog shit. We've spoken about the Cheatriots versus the Rapists. Falcons, Rams. Now, Rams were in big trouble losing this game. And I still think they're flaky, the Rams. And yes, I know I bash them because they're in the NFC and blah, 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 blah. I'm still not convinced by the Rams. I don't think they're going to get back. I don't think they're going to repeat. I can even see them being 8-8 because their schedule isn't the best. And the QB is still sus. And he's still got a dodgy elbow. And Jalen Ramsey, up until he intercepted that ball, he was getting fucking burnt again.
He was getting burned by a rookie in Drake London.
Yeah. That's because Jalen Ramsey isn't as good as everyone thinks he is.
Oh, no, but he's as good as he thinks he is. He ain't no Revis.
No, he's not. They were 28-3 up against the Falcons. Yeah. And the Falcons were on their way back, thinking they could actually... just dropped the ball now. They could have actually...
Fumble!
The way you shoehorn that 28-3 scoreline in, there's no way you can drop the ball, Carl, after you shoehorn that 28-3. We all know the reference.
Can anyone in the audience, please clip that? We're going to need it.
Yeah, he fucked it up. He dropped the ball, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is anyone convinced by this? And obviously, I know we've got 2 Niner fans and Carl.
3 Niner fans.
No, because I'm impartial. Just to say, no, mate. Is anyone Of course I am.
Impartial my ass.
Is
Okay.
anyone on this panel convinced by the Rams?
Not yet.
No,
I think there's something there is something not right. The offensive line is not right. Losing Whitworth at left tackle, that's a huge issue for them. Cooper Kupp still doing Cooper Kupp things. He's still getting all the targets and all the receiving yards.
Well, he's basically getting Stafford out the shit. They've got no run game.
Yeah. Nope.
And their defense has been pretty awful. You know, I'm not convinced. I'm not. And I say that as a neutral. Rams fans. Bungles Cowboys. Now, this was quite a shock. Cooper Rush actually looked, and again, it's only 1 week, but he actually looked quite good. I hate it. I hate the Cowboys, as everyone knows, but he looked all right. Is he going to carry
last time that Dak went down, though?
He got arrested and put in jail. Oh, no, that was the running back, Ezekiel Elliott. Sorry.
Yeah, he looked tidy last time that Dak went down, so it's not a major surprise. It's just a surprise that they looked competent.
Well,
but again, what is going on with the Bengals? 0-2.
The O-line.
Super Bowl hangover?
The O-line is the issue. It's brand new. It's not gelling properly. The thing is, though, you know, a few more shots.
Soon.
Yeah, a few more shots that Joe Burrow takes in that, and he ends up where he was 2 years ago, out for the season. They've got to get it together. They've got no running game. Joe Mixon has been pedestrian at best. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are trying to bail Burrow out as much as they can.
They did a few plays that, again, only watching like Sunday in 60, they did make a few catches. But yeah, I'm really surprised how bad they've been through 2 weeks. Really surprised. Cowboys, fuck them. Now, Sunday night football. Woo-hoo! The number 2 rated defense, the 49ers, are going to meet their foe, Russie Wussy. Let's ride, Broncos. Fucking football. Texans 9. Russie Wussy gets away with a win, 16.
Oh, my God.
Broncos did not look good. Their defense did not look good. And the defense was supposed to be the big point this year, that the defense had got good. They're going to carry the offense. Broncos did not look good to me. Carl, did you see the? What?
I was watching. I was watching it on Red Zone. Nathaniel Hackett, you know, his play calling is so shit. I wouldn't ask him to call up a fucking pizza takeaway. I really wouldn't. He's that bad. He's that bad. He can't control a game clock. He doesn't know what plays to use. He wanted to keep putting the ball in Russell Wilson's hand. By the way, you've also got Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon in the backfield as well to use. 4 times they were at 1st and goal. Pass on the 1st and goal. Pass on the 2nd and goal. Pass on the 3rd and goal. Fucking run the ball in! That's what you running backs are for!
Yeah, how often are we going to look at this? Because obviously this has happened before, and you've come out on the winning end of this. How many times are we going to start?
Yeah,
Is this going to happen before we start to realize? Oh, wait, maybe it isn't the coach. Maybe Russ thinks a little too much of himself.
Might be. He may just. It may be Russell
We don't know.
Controlling Nathaniel Hackett, but we don't know. But all I'm seeing right now is
audibles. They're not audibles like they used to be, right? So I know it was various people have used various terminologies over the years, but very rarely do you see that from the offense. They come up to the line, 52's the mic, and they go 87, blah, 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 bang. Not. So you don't know how much play is being switched at the line. And that's the thing these days, because it's disguised. It's really, really strange. But yeah, obviously Pete Carroll, oh dear, what a fucking shame, in the Super Bowl or whatever it was, threw it to Malcolm Butler. Oh dear, what a shame. I hate you, Butler. You had, what's his face, old fat boy, Tostitos. I want to say Megatron, but it's not Megatron. Beast
Marshall
mode.
Lynch. Beast mode.
Yeah.
Marshall Lynch.
Skills.
Give it to him. Same as not John. The other
Devontae
Harbaugh.
Williams.
No, the other Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh.
Jim against the Ravens had Frank Gore at the 2 and crapper pick, threw it twice, fucked it up. 3 times actually, and fucked it up. So sometimes you've got to wonder who is changing these plays, because it's bizarre. But yeah, I'm not convinced by Denver.
Do you know what? Do you know what was actually the most embarrassing part of all of this? It wasn't the fact that the play calling was shit. The actual crowd were counting down the timer, so they didn't know to make sure know when to snap the fucking ball. That's how pathetic the play calling is. It's
But the
laughable.
good thing is, Russell Wilson, let's ride. Fuck you, Wilson. You're getting your ass kicked this Sunday. But we're going to talk about that Saturday. Now, this next game, this is another crazy, crazy game, and I cannot explain it apart from fuck the Raiders. They're shit anyway. Cardinals, Raiders. What the fuck was going on there? That little pipsqueak. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if it was a 2-point conversion or it was one of the. He was running around for about 10 minutes.
For disclosure, I haven't seen many of the games, but I've seen that clip.
Seriously.
I've seen that clip because someone's tweeted it out that it's like a toddler stealing an adult's phone. And once that was said to me, I couldn't unsee it. And then I've seen the clip and he's running around and I was like, yeah.
I watched it and I couldn't actually believe what I was seeing. I couldn't. I was like, this is like, because I know like you get the real high definition 4K, and sometimes when they score touchdowns and they go in, it looks like you're playing Madden. And I honestly thought that was a clip of someone playing Madden. One's running around, snaking back, running around, snaking back, running around, not doing anything, blah, blah. And I'm like, nah, I'm done. Because the Cardinals were awful in that game. And all of a sudden, they came to like, oh, hang on, what's that? I can't. Because I can really see that.
Cardinals Raiders. That was when the Raiders were 23-7 up.
That was honestly, I mean, it was a freak week. It really was a freak week for freak results, freak play. But Kyler Murray, what the fuck? He was like, honestly, it was like playing Madden. It was mad.
That's basically what it looked like. It looked like it was Madden. He was playing Madden, and the Raiders controller had broken because they couldn't.
A freak week, though. It's why we love the NFL. It's why people say to me,
but it doesn't happen
that
enough,
game?
though.
Yeah, it doesn't. And like we said, like the Jets, Browns, and you went on about there, Carl, showing the win-loss percentage of the Raiders. I saw some Raiders fans popping champagne because they thought they were going to win the game. And like you said,
just to touch on that, that's the equivalent to premature ejaculation. Just saying.
And it's always delicious when Raiders fans, even though they're Vegas fans now, but it's delicious when they think they've won.
They're not the real Raiders. They're just a sideshow. They are a gimmick of Al Davis's vision. You know, they have become they become PF Chang's all of a sudden.
But if you're a away fan or you live in Vegas, what a great place to go and watch football in the shithole. I mean, the new black hole.
Well, to be fair, I should have been over the draft in April, so I'd have liked to have gone and seen the stadium. But I know we got there New Year's Eve, And I know a few fans, Nick, had looked at maybe flying over, but the ticket prices were
Yeah, they're
extortionate.
ridiculous. They will
New
be.
Year's
I
Eve
can
in
imagine.
Vegas.
There will be.
Forget just the ticket prices. Staying in Vegas, flights to Vegas that time of year. Waste of time. Even people in America are looking at it and going, "The fuck out! I'm not paying that. Fucking ridiculous."
True that, like.
But
we normally travel quite well.
It's a weird city. I've been there a few times. It's very strange, surreal, 24-hour town, madness, and adding all these. Because now I saw that they've got a Grand Prix for next year. That's fucking mad. That's mad. But 20 years ago, Vegas was just some shithole in the desert. And they had no teams. Nothing. They had nothing. But now that comes along and every fucker wants to be part of it. So you've got a football team, basketball, I believe.
Yeah,
ice hockey,
and I think in about 3 or 4 years' time, they will have the baseball over there. They will have the Oakland A's over there.
Something, and you can't blame these places because they want to generate money. But it's just like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 14. Vegas was not a sports town. You go there to bet on sports. You don't go there to watch sports, and it's fucking madness. And it's really strange. But yeah, oh dear, the Las Vegas Raiders. And I fucking love it. Bears Packers. Not a lot you can say, really. Bears had their freak win last week, made the Niners look, and fuck the weather.
I quite enjoyed that game as a neutral. Sorry to cut in there. I was looking forward to seeing Justin Fields, but like you said, the Packers-Bears, it was always going to be a Packers. But it was just because it was on straight after our game. So that was probably the Niners and the Packers game of the two that I watched the whole game for this week.
Yeah, it was right, but it wasn't. You just know Packers at Lambeau, discount double check, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it was just...
Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, but I feel so sorry for Justin Fields. I feel sorry for the guy because he's literally getting destroyed in Chicago right now. He's getting destroyed.
After week one, he had no sympathy from me.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't going to get any sympathy from you, but as a neutral, I'm just looking at it. Goes, this is the second GM now, the second head coach that Justin Fields has had now, and he is getting left out to dry. The poor kid cannot develop. They are ruining him, absolutely ruining him. He threw 11 passes all game, and you were behind the chains pretty much almost the game. Excluding that first drive, which ended in a touchdown. That was excellent. We didn't see anything since.
Talking of getting ruined, Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. The Titans are back to being the Titans.
Oh dear.
The Bills.
I did say it.
Holy fuck.
I did say in the offseason, I said the one team that's going to take a huge step back this year is going to be the Tennessee Titans. I did say that because I had the Colts winning the division. Now I might be regretting the latter part of it, but anyway. But no, Tennessee looked terrible. Actually, to be fair, they kept it close in the first half, and then the second half, the Bills just went up a couple of gears. Stephon Diggs went God mode, got 3 touchdowns. And Josh Allen was just Josh Allen.
It was
the
mad.
Bills.
And do you know what? When you see a team like that, and the Eagles, and the Chiefs to a certain extent, you wish that some were in the NFC, some were in the AFC, because you'd love a shootout in the Super Bowl with those 3 teams involved. Madness. We are going to get to the Niners. I know you two guys have got to jump off, so we're going to just summarise the last game. And all I'm going to say is, before we get to the Niners, Chocotron 5000. The end.
2-10. 2-10 on
What
Monday Night Football. I should have
the-
fucking seen this coming.
Yeah.
I should have seen it coming.
Told you, Chocotron 5,000, baby. And they went in with there with
He
so
doesn't
much
like
hope.
He doesn't
Under
like
the
playing under the
lights.
lights.
Massive crowd, massive audience.
Doesn't like it.
Can't do it.
Doesn't like it. And I
What
don't
a
understand
tool.
why. Don't understand why.
That comment's quite good. That's just come in, by the way.
Hang on.
Mahomey to Goat.
Oh, Scott's other burner account. Scott texted me that name with the score. He is the Chocotron 5,000. Tony Romo was the original Chocotron 5,000. He was so in a way, Kirk Cousins is like 5,000A maybe. But anyway, right. Save the best till last. Now, 49ers, Seahawks. What a win. Great defense. Very few penalties, which I liked. Now, the elephant in the room. We are now stuck, like it or not, Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo for the rest of the season. We got to ride with 10 and 14. Now, Nick, Carl, Paul, you've all seen 49ers Twitter. You've seen the overreaction. You've seen fire Lynch, fire Kyle. I'm not watching the team anymore because 10's on the field and blah, and all that bullshit. It was an RPO. Lance chose to keep it. Chose the gap that he was going to run through, and there was a freak injury. Anyone want to fire Kyle? Anyone want to add? And of course, some surgeon who wasn't in the room when they did the operation, didn't do this, had a cigarette outside the hospital and read the medical report that said Trey Lance is coming back this season.
I think he said he could be back.
49ers Twitter. It's bullshit. He's done.
Let him rest. Get him healed for next year.
Now, Paul, you've got a Jimmy G jersey.
I've got two. A bobblehead. I was a Jimmy G fan. I'm not going to deny it.
Now, knowing what you know now, week 3 forward, give me your prediction on wins and losses with the team as it is now, just to put you on the hot seat. And Nick, yours is coming as well, so don't think you're getting away with it.
I'm not changing from my original score from the start of the season. I think it's 13-4. We're winning the Super Bowl. Ultimate redemption story. 10 rides off. There you go. Carl's about to spit whatever he's just drank out of his mouth with that.
But I don't know about what Carl's drinking. I was going to say, what have you been smoking or what have you been drinking before you came on here earlier?
Week 3 of the season. That's what I predicted at the start. I don't think a lot changes. Me and Nick talked about it earlier on Let's Talk Sports. You're right. Jimmy jersey. It's back in my rotation. I was going to rock it tonight, but I thought that would burn the internet down. I have stayed off social media over the last couple of days, which has been difficult for me. I've had the odd tweet. I've tried not to get involved. I definitely don't want to fire Kyle Shanahan. And yeah, I'm all about the team, and I still think we're going to win this year.
Same question to you, Nick. Bearing in mind, obviously, the sad injury to Trey, which was a freak, do you blame Kyle? Do you want him fired? Do you want John Lynch fired? Do you want the training staff fired? Do you want the Dr. Kildare that was outside having a cigarette and someone went, oh, there's Trey Lance's operation thing? Do you want him fired? Do you want me fired? Do you want Carl, Paul, whoever? What do you predict going forward for the Niners?
Yeah, I think you said it all. It was a freak injury. It is what it is. No, it's no one's fault. If anything, I'm far more likely to blame the fact that we play on. They play on turf and not grass. It's a lot of people have sort of shown the injuries have gone up, these types of injuries since the move to turf as well. But I don't know. I think Nine is still probably looking at around about 11 wins. And I'm fine with that. I think Jimmy can take us to an 11-win season.
Well, here's my thing. I said 10 wins with Trey, and I'm going to say 10 with Jimmy. We all know Jimmy is going to make us drink more, smoke more, be happy more, sometimes want to smash shit, and ultimately we think, we got away with that one. And I think that's what it's going to be this year. And no one knows what he's going to be like with his repaired shoulder and his hair and all that bullshit. I wanted to see Trey Lance because we saw in the preseason his cameo with the Danny Gray. See, that's the other thing now. The other conspiracy theory is, well, why did we draft Danny Gray? Because Jimmy G can't throw it long and he's a speedster. He's not going to see the field. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. People getting injured. We got obviously Marlon Mack up this Sunday, running back 1, possibly. Oh, he doesn't like Jeff Wilson Jr. He's this, he's that. Fire him. He's a fucking bum. He blows this. He does that. Do you know what? I wish I could switch Twitter off sometimes. And Grant Cohn, fucking hell, what a wanker! Sorry, he's a fucking parody. He's a joke.
Did you see what Jesse Sapaulo said this week about Lowell Cohen?
Yeah, but then does that surprise you?
No.
I mean, me personally, and obviously I know Jesse, humble brag.
Jesse's one of the nicest guys you could ever hope to meet.
I would never have put that out as a private because it was a private conversation. To me, I thought that was a fucking cheap shot. I would never publish anything. Nick, I'd send it to you. Paul, I'd send it to you. Carl, I'd send it to you in private message and say, look. And if it came out, it was one of you three.
Yeah.
Because I would never put that in the ether. I would never do that, right? And I just thought that was a bullshit move by whoever put it out. But I honestly can believe that they're both like that. But I don't get why. I mean, Lowell's, he's retired and he had his glory years and, Bill Walsh respected him. They all, back in the day, it was different with the media. And but Grant is just making himself look a complete...
He's a bum.
He is. And it's all now. All it's going to be is Jimmy shit. Jimmy tripped over. Jimmy went for a piss and I saw his cock and it's small. Why do porn stars want to be with him? Someone needs to just fuck him off out of the building or lay him out. Kinlaw, find him and just punch his lights out. Because he's a joke. But I tell you one thing I've noticed. None of his little clones, Jesse, Jason, Jack Hammer, Rob Shue, none of them are jumping on this shit that he's posting at the moment, which is quite telling.
Just a quick one. Are you on about Jason's in our guy, Jason Aponte? Or
yeah.
Whatever. Listen. I've been watching a lot of 49ers content over the last couple of weeks. What's been happening? There's only really one person I can actually go to and actually really rely on for proper intellectual content regarding the 49ers, and that is Jason Aponte. He's the only one I go to.
To be fair, Jack Hammer's good.
I like Jason. I like Jason Elliott, Brad Graham, all them. I don't follow Grant Cohn. I am sorry, Nick. I did want to stay on longer, but I have got
we're
literally
just about to wrap it up. But Nick, are you around Saturday?
I believe I am.
Paul, are you around Saturday?
I am. If you'll have me on, gents, I'll be around.
Of course.
Only if you wear number 10. You got to wear number 10.
Just a quick one. Yes, I'm going to be around, obviously. Just a quick one. Yeah, just a quick one, obviously. I've tallied up the scores from week 2 of all our
I don't
picks.
want to know. We were shit.
Oh.
I was shit. I'm not.
Let's find out. Let's find out.
Do you want to know who won?
Is it you?
I wonder. Yeah, if it's you,
It's
fuck
him,
off.
isn't it? Yeah, it's him.
Of course it is.
No, it's Nick Ludlam.
Ah.
You got 10 out of 15 correct. You got 2/3 of the predictions right. So well done, sir.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
take
not you're definitely not coming on Saturday, or I'll cut you off before we do picks.
So
Listen,
Ivan was second with 9, got 9 predictions right.
He ain't coming back on.
Me and Scott was on third. We
You
tied
two are
with
fucked
8,
off.
and then we
I'm
got
last.
we got desperate. You got 6 points.
And it's my show, so you lot can all piss off. Right, listen. Paul, Nick, appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Let everyone know your Twitter handles and your bits and bobs before you both head out.
After you, Paul.
Yeah, there's my Twitter handles at Paul_Hope10, 49FA for the UK. We are trying to grow the group. I am appreciated, Nick, that I haven't been on recently, but as you said, I've jumped on tonight after the 49FA for the UK show. Hey, I watched on Saturday, dedication to the Shank Club. I was out doing family stuff, and I just on my phone, and I was commenting, so I've been retweeting. But no, it's been great to be back on with you, gents. And yeah, anyone wants to follow me on social media, you'll get a heavy dose of 49ers, and I'm not going to apologise for that.
And not Grant Cohn. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, another 84. You know the deal with me. It's just going to be Niners, 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 and a little bit more Niners.
Awesome. I will see you both Saturday, chaps. I'll let you dip out. Me and Carl are going to finish the show. It's great to see you both. See you Saturday. I'll send the link.
Excellent.
You know the drill. Lone wolves, all that other bullshit, and taking the piss out of the McDonald's boy who's probably still watching. Take care, boys. Take care.
All right, man. See you soon, man.
See you, gents.
So, tonight, we have a game. Well, tomorrow morning, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to talk about it a lot. Because, to be fair...
Not a lot of people do. It's
to be
Thursday night
honest,
football for a
unless
reason.
you're... Yeah, I mean, years gone by, right? This might have been a relevant game. Two half-decent team or a whipping boy team and...
A Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah, Hang on.
Now
there's
there's
backward peace sign here in the US. No one. What, that one? No, just do that. No one will know. They'll think you're a gangster. Turn it like that. But us Brits do that. Yeah. I don't know. I thought, Thursday night football, I'll go to bed early, set me alarm. And then I looked at it and I thought, nah, fuck it. What's the point?
No. I probably won't unless I can't sleep like I did last week. Then I will end up staying.
But
up
I
to
do
watch
that,
it.
right? I wake up because I'm old and I need to, visit the bathroom. And I think, hang on a minute, it's 1 a.m. Tell you what, it's 20 minutes till Thursday night football, and I'll stick it on, and I probably don't even hear the theme tune, and I've fallen asleep, and then I'll wake up again at 3:30 and think, thank fuck I didn't stay up to watch that. And I'm probably going to do the same this week.
I'll probably set my lap. No, probably not.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Shut up. Stop lying.
Who am I kidding? I need my sleep. I need my beauty sleep. This game's a bit of an awkward one because there's two teams. You've got one team that's offensively pathetic, and then you got another team which defensively they are. I thought defensively the Browns would be better this year, but that hasn't been the case so far. Not having Jadeveon Clowney in the pass rush to go along with Myles Garrett is a little bit of an issue. But then again, the Steelers don't have TJ Watt for this game either. So,
yeah, I still think I agree with your don't set the alarm. Let's just fucking see what happens tomorrow. And it'll be 9-6 and we'll both be. I'll text you in the morning going.
I think you're being harsh. I think you're being a bit harsh here. I don't think it's going to be that sort of a scoreline. I'm probably going to say Why do I sense the Steelers are going to win this and pull the bullshit? I don't know. I think the Steelers might win this, and it'll come down to a Chris Boswell field goal. I'll guarantee it. So I'm probably going to say 2017 Steelers.
What was in that Fanta? Did you put any vodka in there?
I wish I did.
Any hallucinatory drugs? I'm
Do you
going.
class paracetamol as one? I don't know.
Yes. I reckon it's going to be Battle of Field goals. 12-6. 12-6.
12-6. Fuck's sake.
Browns. Because I can't see.
You're going 12-6 Browns.
Yeah,
okay.
I just can't see if Trubisky doesn't open it up. They're just underneath again. That game on Sunday against your lot proved that they haven't moved on or they don't trust Trubisky because he threw nothing deep and it was all intermediate underneath stuff. There was nothing that made me think, you throw the fucking thing 50 yards and if you miss it, at least let the fans go, oh, he's missed it.
Apparently, rookie wide receiver George Pickens for the Steelers. Apparently, he said in an interview he was 99% open all last week.
But he won't. Yeah. He won't look that far because
he won't look that far because he can't. They won't want that to go that far.
They want underneath shit, which is weird. But anyway,
you need explosive plays. You need some explosive plays in the NFL. Otherwise, you're just going to be stagnant all the time.
Well, we'll see what pans out tonight. We are back this Saturday, 2:30 UK. I'm sure. I know Ivan's coming back. Obviously, Nick and Paul will be back. I know you're going to be back. I know the drive-through assistant is going to come back as well because he obviously wants to have a word with Ivan about how bad. Well, he could have double bubble, right? Because if Cleveland lose now and then they lost the other day, he could have double bubble. Who knows?
He could do.
Carl, it's been great. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you. We're the Shank Club. You know where to follow us, like us, comment on us if you don't want to. We don't care because we're the Shank Club. Carl, enjoy tomorrow. It's the end of the week. I get off work half an hour early because I'll be a good boy. At 5, makes a change. I'm going straight to the pub.
I'll be starting on the beer a little bit earlier than you then. I get home from work at 4 o'clock every day, so...
Yeah, you're not really helping. It's been great, Carl. Take care, mate. I'll see you Saturday. Get that thumbnail ready. Who knows? You could do someone sleeping watching a computer screen of the game that's on tonight.
No, we'll think of something different because you're going against Rusty Wussy on Sunday night football. I
want a Let's Ride or something, and Nick Bosa putting him in a headlock and throwing him down or something. We are gonna eat some Broncos. It's been cool. 2:30 UK. I don't know. Was that 1:30, 2:30 Eastern?
It's 1:30. Yeah, 2:30. Yeah, it's 2:30 afternoon. What for this show? It's 2:30 afternoon here.
Yeah, well, I know what time it is for us, you clown, because we do
9:30. 9:30. Right, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's 6:30 Western Pacific time.
There you go. I knew it was 2:30. I'm not that silly. All right, but anyway, Carl, good to see you. Paul, Nick, thanks for joining in. We are the Shank Club NFL. I'm going to cut this off definitely properly this time. We out of here. Oh, and by the way, my homie the goat, the fish whisperer, peace.